Hello friends, this is Om Prakash Samantrai, Assistant Professor in CSC. We are discussing structured query language. In this video, we'll discuss views in SQL, how to create the views and what are the different types of views. And after that, we'll execute the grant and revoke command. Right. Now, view is a virtual table, or you can say it's a subset of your table, which is extracted by using some SQL statements. When you execute a simple select statement, select asterisk from EMP, it gives you a view of your table. Or when you execute select asterisk from EMP where the salary is greater than 2000, it gives you a subset of your table, that is a view. So there are so many users using or interacting with the database at the same time. That's why they have their different views, they have their own requirements, and they have their own view of the data present in your database. So different requirements leads to different views, right? So view is a virtual table, you can say. So when I execute a statement, select ename, emp number, salary, commission, DPT number from EMP. Okay, let's say this is a simple statement. It will give you a subset of the table, so you can call it as a view, but the result is temporarily displayed here. Next time you close the session, you will not get this result. So again you have to execute the same query. Instead of executing the same query again and again, I will create a view and store this result in that view. So how to create a view? Using the DDL statement, create view name. Let's say I'll give a name like employee underscore view 1 as select ename, emp number, salary, commission, dpt number from emp. Create view name as select. So up to this you have already executed from this one select. This is a simple select statement. Whatever result is fetched by this select statement are stored in this view. The view name is employee underscore view, right? So create view name as select statement, right? So whatever the results are there in the select statement that are stored in this view. So now you just press enter. Simply press enter here. The view is created. Now simply using the select statement, select star from emp view 1, you can see the result of that query. And even if you close the session, this view will still exist in your database. Now there are two types of views, updatable views and non-updatable views. So the view which we have created just now is updatable view, means using the view you can change the original value in your database. Suppose the salary of Smith is 800. I want to change that 800. I want to update the salary of Smith to 1500. So I can update the view itself. Instead of updating the table, I can update the view, update employee view 1 as set salary equals to 1500, where EMP number equals to 7369. See, this is the employee number of Smith. I'm not using E name because there may be multiple employees having the same name. So better to use the primary key always, or unique values. So you can see, oh, you should not use as view set salary. So one row is updated here. So you can see, select asterisk from employee view 1. So Smith's salary is updated here. So this is also updated in the original table. You can see, select asterisk from EMP. You can see the Smith's salary is 1500 here. So Smith's salary is 1500. Previously it was 800. So we have updated this value through the view, right? So that view is called as your updatable view, because using that view you can also update your original table. And some of the views are called as non-updatable view. That is, you cannot update the original table, or you cannot even update that view. Those views which contain join operations, or aggregate functions, or some inner queries, subqueries, those kind of uh, queries are called as non-updatable views. If I write create view employee count is the view name, as select department number count asterisk from EMP group by DPT number. Let's say department wise count I am displaying, and that is stored in a view called as employee count. Okay, so while using this count asterisk while creating a view, you need to give an alias here, a name of that column should be given. I'll give number of EMP employees. So one view is created here. Now you can see the data. Select asterisk from employee count. Number of employees 6 in department 30. Number of employees is 5 in department 20, and so on. Now if you want to update the number of employee column here, it will not allow you to update, because it is using one aggregate function in group by clause, and this is one example of your non-updatable view. If I try to update, let's say update EMP count set, right, number of employee equals to 8, it's not possible, right, where DPT number equals to 30. See, it is not possible. Even this is the column name is not, should not contain white spaces. hmm, Count star. If I use count asterisk, even if it is not possible here, right? So this is an example of non-updatable view. So some of the views uh, will not allow you to update the original data. Those kind of views are called as non-updatable views, right? Similarly, we have already seen the grant option. Grant command is used to allow privileges to a particular user. If you are creating a user like this, create user, a username, let's say user 1, identified by some password, let's say password 1 is the password. Now this user cannot connect to the database because you have freshly created the user. It has no privileges. So as an admin, you have to grant privileges. So grant connect resource unlimited table space to user 1. Now you have granted some privileges like connection resource unlimited table space. These are the privileges which are granted to user 1. Now user 1 can be connected using this command connect user 1 slash password 1. Now when you press enter, you can connect to that user, right? Now similarly you can also revoke, let's say revoke connect from user 1. Revoke succeeded. Now if you try to connect using the user 1 and password 1, you cannot connect to the database because you have revoked the privilege. Simply you can grant connect to user 1. Oh sorry, you must log into the admin first. Connect Scott Tiger. Now I'll grant connect to user 1. Now user 1 can be connected. Yes, so this is a small example of grant and revoke. There are so many possibilities. There are different types of privileges that can be granted. Even you can also grant a privilege on a particular table, on a particular database object to a particular user, and you can also allow that user to permit or to grant the privileges to some other users using the with grant option. So it's a um, there are so many possibilities. You can watch my one of my previous videos to understand the concepts of grant and revoke. So this is all for this video. Please subscribe this channel and share with your friends so that you'll get notifications of my upcoming videos. Thank you very much for watching.